Good afternoon, everybody. It is back by popular demand. Fantastic Friday. We are here. It has been a good long week. Mike, it's Fantastic Friday. I hope you're ready. Are you ready, my man?
I'm ready. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Mike from One Rental at a Time, always ready.
Yes.
That's why they call him the jackhammer.
I've been called that before.
I'm sure. What sales guy in high tech hasn't?
Exactly. I am very consistent.
Yes, exactly. You're like, I was compared to Chinese water torture at one point, and I was like, thank you. And they're like,
yeah, that's a compliment.
And I go, whatever.
Yeah, it
is. Whatever you say. So, Mike, one of the things that you and I that just absolutely gets our goat is when somebody says, well, that was just that. I mean, that's just one example that was kind of lucky. Oh, you didn't just say lucky.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's a hot button issue for me.
Yeah, lucky. Okay, I'll do this all day long, bro. So the reason I bring that up is because they said that about the 10-year review that I did a couple of weeks ago, where I basically showed the crazy cash that one property produced for me and the massive $195,000 check I got tax-free at refi. So I felt the need to let them know it wasn't luck and it wasn't a one-time event. Now, the numbers obviously aren't exactly the same, but generally speaking, we're ballparking it. So what I also wanted to do is you were nice enough to also put together something on a 20-year or almost 20 years, right? 02?
Yep. 02, December 02.
Awesome. So for those of you who actually want to understand the very simple but amazing understanding of don't time the market, it's time in the market. So not about timing the market, but time in the market. I know better how to share, only slightly this time than last time. It will not take me 3 minutes to figure out how to shut it down this time.
You got a lot of comments on my channel. The last 3 minutes were hysterical.
Yeah. They were hysterical here too. My wife literally gets up because she thinks the video is over and she's like, what are you doing? And I go, effing Zoom. I couldn't figure out how to get out, like, to stop sharing. And she's like, this is just awesome. She's like, I've never seen you struggle to figure something out before. And I was like, please leave.
Yeah, leave now. The video's over.
Please leave. The video's done. I've shown you all I can show you here. So, Mike, I've got one of these amazing spreadsheets ready and prepared just to show the math again. Now, this one was actually our very first duplex in a brand new market and still a house hack. So I will share this wonderfulness. Can you see my screen?
I can. Great job.
Not bad, right?
Not bad, man. You got it.
Practicing. Did I have to practice? Zoom sucks. Yeah.
Sales guys.
Yes. Every time. So let's look at the chart and how we do this thing, right? Fixed interest rate. It was a 2011 vintage loan. Again, moved into the duplex. 10% down was 17,720. We financed 173,180.
So you paid 190 roughly, or 191.
Yep, a little over 190. Yep. Okay. And it was a little bit more than that, but we got them to cover some of the closing costs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So my portion of that was 17,700.
Got it. Okay.
Because you realize it wasn't exactly 10%, and it's because there were some other closing costs and things like that we got them to cover.
Understood.
So mortgage payment month one was $1,847.50. This was a 20-year mortgage again.
Yeah, that is something you were doing in the beginning that I've never done.
Yep.
I was going to say, damn, that's expensive.
Yeah.
And then I looked at 20-year amortization. I'm like, he's throwing $350 out the window easy, but I get it.
I definitely was. Yeah. Well, and the whole thing was that was the only bank that would lend to me in the 11 vintage, and that
Oh,
11
okay.
year, it was the only bank that would do a deal with me. And they're like, we don't want 30-year debt with you. We want 20-year debt with you.
That's fair. I mean, you
And I'm
got,
like,
yeah, you got to get in, right? In order
yeah,
for time in the market, you got to start. So you took what you had. So
the golden rule, he who has the money makes the rules.
that's right.
So,
Exactly.
so
I
that's the
want
way,
your money. You could, yeah,
Yeah,
20 years it is.
exactly. And yeah, and then this bank met its demise with me because they were like, well, no, we're done at 2 deals. Oh, okay. Thank you for all the leeway.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then rent tax. So we were $1,600 on the one side that we were renting out. Again, it was a 4-bedroom that we were getting $1,600 a month for. And we were in a 3-bedroom. And again, what was interesting about this deal is that the 190 is that this was actually a 203K loan.
Oh, nice.
So this 190 and change, the actual house price was 155. Then we did 35,000 for the 203K portion, but they roll that all into one. And so that's why it was a little bit higher on the closing cost that we had them cover, but we were still 17,720 out of pocket for this deal.
Yeah.
So we do that 35K 203K loan. We do that deal. We finish all the work. The bank comes in, they do, or the FHA comes in, they walk through and they say, yep, you're good. And so after all that work was done, I said, hey, we're going to refi this now.
So was that 6 months, 9 months? When was that?
So that was about within the year, more than 6, less than 12.
Okay. And the reason this is really cool is there's so many people that can get into the market. They you know, the 203K loan, I mean, that's actually something that Meet Kevin starts with, you know, because I was lucky enough to interview him once.
Yeah.
People need to talk. I mean, the goal is to get in. The fact that you did 203K plus house hack a duplex is like people's antennas need to be going ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. So it was just that simple. And so we ended up doing the refi. We ended up getting I think it appraised for right around 260, 270 after we did the work. So we put 35,000 into it and created, you know, with that 35,000 bucks we put in, we created another 60,000 or 80,000 bucks in equity with the 35 grand that we redid because we redid it well. I did a bunch of that was work that I did, but I would say probably 80% of it we jobbed out. Wow. So now I refi $214,000 20-year mortgage.
Oh, still 20-year. Okay.
Still kept it 20-year. They wouldn't give me a 30.
Got it.
Mortgage payment was $2,041 a month.
But let's talk about that, right? Yeah. So you walked away. So your payment went up $200.
Yep.
But you walked away getting your down payment back.
Yep.
All of your. Okay. So you got, it
was basically my down payment and another $24,000 in profit.
Right. Because they covered the repairs originally.
Correct.
It was all rolled into that first loan.
Correct.
So yes, you get your down payment.
Yep.
Call it 18 grand.
Yep.
Plus you walk away with $23,000.
Yep.
Just created.
Yep.
And your payment went up $190.
Yes.
Not a bad deal.
Yep.
Okay.
Not a bad gig if you can get it. And right after we finished and closed that transaction, because again, refi while we lived there.
Mm-hmm.
Right after we finished that, within 90 days, we moved out and rented the other unit, and rents basically came up to $2,800 a month at that point.
Wow.
So I'm still good.
Yeah, and you self-manage.
Yep. Self-managed. So I'm still making 700 or so a month.
Right.
And those rents have steadily climbed. Now come to current. We just refied this property again. And now it's 2012 to 2021. So it's basically 9 years.
Yeah.
We refied and it appraised, and this is a cash out. So it reappraised at 425, I believe, or 420.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the cash out refi number. So 329 was my new mortgage.
Yep.
So my mortgage is on 329. My new payment, because I'm now 30-year, not 20-year.
Yeah, clearly 30-year now. Yeah.
Right. So now I'm $22.95 a month, but now my rents are $4,200.
Wow.
So that $22.95 is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Right. The whole thing. PTI.
The whole thing.
Yep,
the pity. Yep. And then 4,200 is my gross. And then after expenses, I'm $1,650 a month.
And you have now, let's see. Wow. You have You have negative 150K in the deal.
Correct. Correct. But
my calculator does not calculate that return.
in the grand scheme of things, we then on closing day got a check for.
Yes, because you paid down principal.
Mm-hmm. So we got a check for $189,710 and
plus your whatever 23K from the first.
Correct.
Refi.
Correct.
So that's on top of that, right?
Yeah, that 23K though, we use that to buy the next property.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we used the excess here to then use that as a down payment for the next property. In fact, the last spreadsheet that I did was the property we rolled into. So I think that was about an $18,000 down payment and all in. And so we still had $4,000 left over.
Yeah. So let's try to, you can update this real time, right?
I probably can. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So do me a favor. Let's try to do mine. So, so like in row A10, like cell A10, just type Norris Drive.
Yep.
Okay. So Norris Drive, the reason this is important, this is the house I talk about in my book. It's the first house we bought. So the next column, so it'd be B10. So it's 2002.
Yep.
We buy it for $107,000. So you can put it probably, I don't know where, probably, yeah, right there.
Yep. This is the down payment one. So,
so down payment's $20,000.
107. Here, watch this.
Oh, look at you. So yeah.
On the fly.
So I put 20% down. So let's just say 20K.
Yep.
So I financed $87,000. I won't.
So this is 87. Yeah.
Yeah. Finance not 87. So I don't remember the mortgage rate or whatever, but my cash flow is $250.
Okay. So we'll put that right here.
Yeah. Let's just call it cash flow. Okay. So
50.
So as people will know, in 2004, so 2004, I do a cash out refi.
Okay.
So the building,
04.
Yeah, so 04. So the house appraises now at 150. I take out, so it appraises at 150. I do an 80% loan. So it's $120,000 finance amount.
Yep.
So I get a check for about $50,000.
Yep.
Okay.
50. Yep.
$50,000. My cash flow though goes negative. I'm now negative 250. As I talk about, I create an alligator, stupid, bad idea, blah, blah, blah. Right. But see, this is what I did different because I've been doing this for a long time, right? This is 19 years in the making. That $50,000 becomes 2 more houses.
Right.
So I buy 2 more houses with that $50,000 that each cash flow 250.
Hold on. I'm just going to get these all the right size. Okay. Go ahead. So, all right. Yep.
So the $50,000 becomes 2 houses, 15K each, and I still have my $20,000. So I'm in 3 houses now. So you can just type 2 houses. It doesn't matter. Or house 1, house 2. I don't care. So now in late 2004, so 2 years later, I have no of my own money in 3 houses. I am negative an alligator in Norris Drive. Shame on me. Don't do that. So now I fast forward to 2005, which everybody can see because I always talk about it it's on Zillow. I do a 1031 exchange out of Norris Drive into an apartment building. So the apartment building is let's call it 220.
Yep.
I move 100K in equity over. So my loan's 110 or 120. Sorry. The loan's 120. But my cash flow goes from negative 250 to like 1250. So it's a $1,500 swing.
1250.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So it's not 100K in my pocket, but it's 100K equity, right? Because I did a 1031 exchange. Then where this gets really interesting, because remember that first cash out refi, I bought 2 more houses. And you probably don't need to keep up with it because it gets I guess complicated from here. But in 2006, I buy a 13-unit building with equity, where my cash flow goes from 250 to $3,000. Then later, or in early 06, that third house becomes an 18-unit building. So, and then you keep going. Then I end up doing a cash out refi on one of the apartments. I do this. I sell an apartment building. So long story short, the 20 grand from 2002, as I sit here today, is $100,000 in my pocket.
Mhm.
It's $500,000 in equity. It's 21 units. And this is the best part. It's $4,000 a month in cash flow.
So 100, so
100K.
100K in your pocket,
Yep. 500K in equity,
500K in equity. Okay.
21 units.
21 units. Yeah.
Yep. 21 units. And $4 grand a month in cash flow. All from that original $20,000.
Now, what is this 21 units worth?
Well, the equity
Is that the equity?
That's
Yep.
the $500,000.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. That doesn't suck, Mike.
No, that doesn't suck. And oh, by the way, the cash flow only goes up because that was before rents increased. I didn't look at what they are. I didn't have to do the adjustment. The story was good enough.
Yeah.
Right. So again, it's time in the market. And again, I like to talk about my hold time being forever.
Right.
But you got to realize when you're in the market and you can move stuff around, do it. Right.
Yes.
And I sell when stuff's overpriced. Do you want to see when it's overpriced? Great. Like that first Vassar property that I flipped into in 2012, I just did a cash out refi on it. And it gave me 100 grand. So the story gets good. You got time in the market is far better than time in the market.
Well,
I've bought deals every year. That people need to hear that. I bought deals every year.
That's
Every
right.
year on the run up, every
That's
year
right.
on the run. I don't know where the top is. I don't know where the bottom is.
But
But
with-
I know what's expensive. So I sold houses and bought apartments.
But where this is really important, Mike, is house hack with a duplex.
Oh, I know.
Or single family rolling it 6 times and building an entire portfolio off of the first transaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
That
first
one
transaction.
transaction.
So it doesn't matter if it's house hack here or you become the next Mike Zuber. Like anywhere in between here is still freaking awesome. It's still awesome. Anywhere in between any of this stuff, and it's like, this
I
is
totally
what people need to see, whether it's starting with a single family home and then, rolling it over a 20-year period, or if it's starting with a house hack duplex and it's, over a 10-year period. These are all massive wins for you financially and bigger than your 401k.
Oh, yeah.
Markedly.
Yes. Markedly better. Yes.
Markedly
Absolutely.
better. Any other thoughts on these, Mike?
No, the only thing I want to talk about is a lot of people say we're lucky. And that's why I thought my story of 02 is important because again, right, I bought before into the peak. I was doing sales and buys at the peak. If you look at your market, you do the work, you can sell what's expensive and buy what's cheap. That's what I did. And that's not luck. That's daily discipline.
It is. It very much is that. It is daily discipline. It is also, as part of that, understanding the numbers, daily discipline, creating, having your money right so you can make this move.
Yes.
And recognizing that you have to have a place to live.
Living in a car is not a great option.
Yeah, you have to have a place to live. And the crazy thing about this is it gives you that place to live and it gives you an investment strategy.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that CNBC interviewed on Millennial Millionaires. His name's Todd Baldwin. He and I talk all the time, and he just did your spreadsheet on his first house hack.
Nice.
He bought a house hack. He room hacked. I don't know what that's called, right? So it wasn't a duplex.
Yep.
He room hacked a 5 or 6 bedroom in Seattle area. And in 6 years, he turned 18 grand, which is a 3% down loan he got as an owner occ, into all in 600 grand.
Woo. Yeah. Like you have to live with roommates for 6 years, but that's okay.
That's okay.
But this is what we're talking about. Like in your 20s, if you don't want to house hack a 4-3-2-1.
Yeah.
And even if you just get a single family home that's a decent size, but can then put that deal together. Oh man.
He was 23 years old.
Yeah.
College dropout.
Perfection.
He bought a $500,000 house, had roommates, and he started in 2015.
Amazing.
It's a choice. You can sit back and complain, or you could get your money right, sacrifice. Because again, living with roommates, not fun. I am sure. Never done it.
Nope.
And that's why I asked him to create some content for my house hacking, because he room hacked. I'm like, okay, I got to tell this story, right? So it's coming to the course. He's giving me videos every day. It'll be up by the end of the month. It's going in that room hacking. Dude, just get after it, folks. Take control of your life. The government's not going to bail you out.
Do the
Yeah.
work. You'll be one of the few doing the work. And when you execute, you will be so happy in 10 and 20 years that you didn't put it off. It's the most important thing. So Mike, thanks so much for taking us through your deal. Glad we were able to do another one of these where we can prove that it wasn't luck.
Yeah, please don't call me lucky.
Yeah.
You don't get lucky doing work every day for 20 years. There's no luck involved.
Nothing at all. So Mike, where can everybody find you, my friend?
Yeah, go to your Google search bar and type in one rental at a time. You should see a book, a YouTube channel, Instagram, and website.
Awesome. And as I always say, we spent a ton of time putting this awesome content together for you. As you can imagine, I had to dig through 19 boxes to find these original loan docs from 10 years ago. I was like, I got to remember what year we did that, because then I had to go find the year and the special, file a folder thing. Oh, yeah. So yeah, we spent a ton of time putting this content together. Please subscribe to One Rental at a Time, subscribe to Lumberjack Landlord. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. We're going to hit it with an awesome topic on the number 2, banks yanking financing. Mike, it's becoming a thing.
It is.
Calamity.
I've been there before.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, thanks so much for the time. We'll see you in segment 2.